Welcome to the Show Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 251.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yes.
My God, if we ever get to the point where we can type out that many ones, I think we'll all be dead. Oh, Pink!
Yeah.
Just keeping you on your toes.
Okay.
Have you done anything on your channel in the past? Have you got anything coming on your channel this week? Clear.
That's a kind of a sticky situation because I ran into some recording issues this week. Hi, Bowie. Don't jump off on me, please. No. I ran into some recording issues this week, and that kind of delayed everything. So, last week Fallout 3 was supposed to come out, but I was also intending on releasing a lot more Fallout New Vegas content alongside it because I didn't want to have the kind of quote-unquote opening tutorial or whatever you would like to call the early stages of the Fallout games releasing simultaneously. So I was like, I want to progress some more through Fallout New Vegas, and then once I'm about, I don't know, a good way a ways from the starting point, I'll start uploading the Fallout 3 stuff so that it feels a bit more fresh, or at least to me. But then OBS decided didn't want to record Fallout New Vegas anymore, so everything got delayed. I've been trying to get that fixed all week long to minimal success.
The wonderful thing about Fallout, well, just general Bethesda games on PC is that they'll run on any PC at ultra graphics, inexplicably. However, at the same time, it is also Bethesda. So the game will crash for no reason, be incompatible with random tech for no reason.
Yep.
Mods that work for everybody else will not work for you for no reason.
Yep.
My copy of New Vegas on PC has not fucking worked for several years now. I'm just going to have to try it again whenever I get my next PC. Because I've given up on trying to fix it.
Oh, man.
Just email a special voucher into Todd. He'll come and take a look.
He'll just send you another copy of Skyrim.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think if that was the case, Mr. Howard would be fucking people with two first names. Mr. Howard would be way too fucking busy. He wouldn't be able to do anything else except fixing people's copies of New Vegas.
That is very true.
I like imagine though if you call.
Also, New Vegas wasn't developed by Bethesda; it was developed by Obsidian.
That is even more true.
But imagine if you called up Bethesda tech support, they're like, "All right, we'll send a guy out. Todd Howard goes to your house. Takes it. Yeah, Todd Howard goes to your house, fucking takes a look at it, and then when you put, he's like, okay, I'll fix it. Leaves. You turn on New Vegas. It boots up the normal menu of New Vegas. You start a new game. It's Skyrim.
Yeah. Evidently, I mean, there's been no fucking progress since Elder Scrolls 6 was announced. Maybe they aren't progressing because Todd is just walking into the office every day and saying, why are we doing anything that comes after Skyrim?
I mean, didn't there, like, lore people leave? Or something? Like, I think...
the big lore guy who comes up with all the wacky lore, yeah.
Yeah, the wacky lore guy, I know he left, but if memory serves, and I'm probably wrong about this, but if memory serves, I think Todd may be the only guy left who actually, like, contributed to original Elder Scrolls lore. So, like, aside from him, it's all new blood. Which might make it harder to, you know, make stuff that actually fits into the universe. Although I'm not sure how much Todd cares about that.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta step out real quick
to finish up my tea. Back to the channel.
Yeah, back to the channel.
Depending on if I'm able to get OBS to operate properly with New Vegas again, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas will be going up this week once more. If New Vegas doesn't work with OBS, then that's bad news for me because that throws a monkey wrench into my entire operation. But I'll get the Fallout 3 uploaded anyway. I'll just bite the bullet there and call it good. Definitely gonna have a lot of Dead by Daylight content coming out because they've got their Halloween event running, so I want to play as much of that as physically possible. And Plants vs Zombies, I'm probably gonna continue that either with or without Addy, just in whatever free time I can scrounge up. Probably gonna do it solo at night, so maybe Addy, if you really want to do it with me, I can try to set time aside. But I figure we've got plenty of our own stuff that we would want to do instead of Plants vs Zombies, because it's kind of just a nothing game. Just
I mean, Plants vs Zombies and things like that, like Blooms, is a really good podcast game.
yeah,
But then, also like we have 2 podcasts on this channel, so
yeah, very true.
like that's the problem with that's the problem with both long running series and games that are really good for podcast games, like Slime Rancher, for example. I really like Slime Rancher. I would never want us to actually play through it because for one, on console there's a point in the game, in the middle of the game, where it just ceases working. But also, there's nothing to say. It would just be another podcast.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the session of Plants vs.
The
Zombies,
only commentary you can make is those occasions when they get out of the pen and start eating each other, and the only commentary you can make there is "God damn it."
Yeah. And like I really enjoyed doing the Plants vs. Zombies session that we did. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if you wanna go ahead and do that on your own channel, then I won't tell you not to, you know. Because like scheduling has been a problem for us recently, as in the past like year. So
yeah, very true.
Yeah,
and that's basically the biggest thing with that, is that like scheduling fucking sucks ass, and it doesn't work out when we try. So you know that would just be another thing that we need to schedule.
Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to do something yesterday, and then I just felt sick and forgot.
Yeah.
So that was my bad there. But otherwise, yeah, scheduling has just been very tumultuous, to say the least.
But yeah, this is a topic we'll discuss off recording, because it will probably take time, and it is probably not entertaining. You know?
No, we just gotta sound very dramatic about it. Then it'll be very entertaining.
Ah, yeah, true. I need to start yelling.
Yeah. Anyway, that should wrap up anything that may or may not be coming out on my channel, I think. I can't remember if I've got anything else in the pipeline, but if I do, you'll know it when you see it.
All right. Addy.
Well,
you got anything coming out on your channel?
Possibly, but I can't promise anything. So, I'm about 1/4, I want to say, of the way done with the YouTube poop I'm working on. So that's nice. By the way, during the week, I got another source, because Sega accidentally leaked their own trailer for Sonic Frontiers, and I was like, hey, I started doing this, I might as well follow it up.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something that I have to take a look at as well. I already have the video downloaded. Like the thing is, me having that footage isn't even like bad, because like I didn't get it illegally or anything. They uploaded the video literally a day after they leaked it, so it's fine. I legitimately got it from the PlayStation account, so it's okay.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But there's also the longer YouTube poop that I have been working on. That's about 1/4 of the way done. It's really dumb. I'm not sure if it's funny. it's very dumb. I don't know if my editing style is great yet for YouTube poops, because it's a thing of like, I enjoy running gags, and I enjoy sticking to, I enjoy narrative consistency in YouTube poops, when they say something and that something can be like built upon later and it's still consistent.
Yeah.
But YouTube poops also are generally random, and those two don't work that well together. So I'm not sure if I'm shooting myself in the foot with trying to keep keep it narratively consistent while also trying to make jokes with it. Either way, then I finished writing my Sly review. The audio for the audio for that is recorded. I need one of you to do a Bentley impression, or at least someone to do a Bentley impression. It doesn't. It's not. It does. It's fine if it's bad, but so is my Sly.
Better if it's bad.
Yeah, it's better if it's bad. But like that's the only piece that's still necessary from the narration, and then I can start editing it together. So that's cool. The fighting game video, I'm still gathering footage. I just haven't felt like playing fighting games a whole lot. So so that's been kind of on the back burner, and that's the videos coming out. Oh yeah, there's also the second glitch compilation on my second channel that I'll be releasing.
All right.
And that's about it.
All right. Let's see. On my channel, I will definitely be releasing more Warhammer stuff. Not quite at the rate I'm super happy with, because generally a lot of these days we're either going towards getting the house ready for moving, spending time with the family, or trying to kick back and relax after having previously spent the day getting ready for moving. Boy, painting a dock is something, because
I've never done that kind of something before.
You bend over a lot. Back hurty.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say something dumb, but wouldn't like a spray painter thing would been like a good idea? No, not spray cans.
You can't learn karate with a spray painter.
That's true, but it also makes it fucking easier because hey, the wind will just carry the paint somewhere. Somewhere.
Well, I think we wanted to be a bit more precise than that, and I also think we didn't want to spend too much money on it, right?
Yeah.
Because moving will be an expensive process.
Yeah.
And more significantly, like, there's a good chance that we end up paying a lot of money wherever we go, because the housing market, well, the plan is to rent, but even the rental market is not too friendly right now because the housing bubble hasn't popped yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, either which way, yeah, that has gotten in the way of making more YouTube videos. But hey, I did put out a YouTube video, and supposedly it's all right. I haven't got anyone saying that I suck yet. So, hey, we'll see.
So send me a link and
that real quick.
Can I go for the same joke?
You both know where my channel is.
But we're lazy. Both of us.
That's true.
This is very true.
And there's no one better to go to for negative YouTube comments.
Exactly.
I like it.
Oh, man. That was funny. Like I said the other day, it's funny how it runs the gamut from... One I get is just, hey, pal, quick tip, your mic or your sound setup sucks. And it's... Like, I have to assume that's trolling. Because if there is some guy out there, some knucklehead who honestly thinks that's helping, I don't know how anyone could be so delusional. But then you get to the opposite side, which is 8 paragraphs explaining my every tactical error in detail. And you know you're in for an interesting comment when the first word is yikes. That's one of those ones, to be honest, I didn't read the full comment, because fuck that. But... Like, that was one of those ones where it's like, my only choice to reply to this is to concede. You win today, sir. I'll see you tomorrow.
I have found one of the many alternate accounts possessed by Ted.
Yeah, Ted has actually said to me before that he doesn't understand tactics or strategy, so actually, no.
I mean, it's the people who say that though who can surprise you because of out of the box thinking. I know this because it's me.
Right, but this guy was like citing like, oh yeah, well when you do this and that and another, it gets this and that. And Legend of Total War said this in his video, which I tried my hardest to bite my lip and not just go, yeah, well, you watch Legend of Total War, so fuck you.
This is that is one of those things. It's a problem with any type of content creators, is when people are like, okay, but so and so other person already did this, or already it's doing this right now, or whatever. Like the in live streaming, the equivalent is when people go into other people's chats and be like, hey, do you know when person you know will stream? Which is basically just a covered fuck you, you know? And like, you know, it's one of those things where like people creators can reference each other and talk to each other, and you know, like as much as it seems sometimes, even to me, we don't live in different universes. Although it's really funny to imagine that we're in different cinematic universes. We're technically not, but but you know, like there's a difference between this guy said this and you know, just treating people's opinions or their ideas as like fucking the golden rule.
Yeah. Either which way. So I'll definitely make something regarding that. I guess this is as good a place to say it as any. I also am going to be going forward trying to edit out anytime someone says a racial or sexual or homophobic slur in the video that I'm recording. At no point do I expect anyone to actually stop. Mike simply derives too much joy from it. However, I will be editing it out in the future. I'll probably have to do that thing where I record random other sounds that aren't somebody saying a slur and replace the slur with those. That way, Mike will randomly say, "You damn dirty Shoryuken."
My favorite one of that. There's a channel that I watch that does this, and they had a rant, and the editors use sounds that fill in the context. Some like it's not in the I don't mean context in the way that they tell you what they were trying to say. I mean that in that they edit the sound bites to make a complete sentence.
Yeah.
So like the guys are the guys are arguing over some stupid bullshit. Like, you know, it's pretend arguing. They're not actually arguing. And then one of them just goes, "I hate Donkey Kong." So yeah, like stuff like that can be great. It's a very good way to have whatchamacallit, comedic editing. The thing though, I don't know if you want to get into comedic editing, because that requires a lot of fucking effort.
It won't be a dedicated effort. It will be just one sound file that I just drop in.
Yeah.
And anytime Mike says that, and I shouldn't just say Mike, because Soon also is quite fond of a couple sexual slurs. But anytime that it's said, I will just simply Alt-Tab, look at the timestamp on OBS, write that down, Alt-Tab back into the game.
Yeah.
And then presumably cuss either Mike or Soon out for giving me extra work. And then Mike will say I'm too sensitive, and I'll explain that I'll explain that I'm doing it because, hey, if this Total War thing works out, I might get a partnership. So, hey.
Yeah, like...
In which case, I would say Mike is costing me actual fucking money.
Yes. Like remember a couple of years ago when I did this for this channel? Yeah. Like I can't even really say much more than that, because like it's you're going through the same thing that I did like a year or two back. Then, like, you know, I'll cut it out. It's fine. Like, I already edit the videos anyway, so whatever, fuck it, I'll cut it out. But for fuck's sake, dude, give me, like, maybe don't increase my workload by tenfold or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, maybe let's not make me edit more than I have to.
To be honest, from that perspective, like, you can cut out pretty well the entire conversation that was in, because odds are Mike was either doing it just to piss somebody off, or because he finds it funny to just say a series of slurs. Or it was a discussion of racial or sexual or homosexual matters.
I like how that's a separate thing. Homosexual matters is a completely separate topic. But yeah,
And
anyway.
I don't think you're too excited to put that in the YouTube video. You know, the 10-minute conversation of everybody kind of having to walk around the fact that Mike has serious issues with women who sleep around.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing though there is that like we've not even with Mike there, just in other videos, we've gotten close to touching fire, because like I remember there's strictly
Hey, out of the 3 times I've said the C word, 1 was an accident. Okay.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
I need to step out
All
because
right.
I've left the tea bag in my tea for like 4 times the length you're supposed to. I don't know
All
if
right.
that'll have any bad effects.
It
It's
shouldn't.
gonna be bitter.
Yeah. But yeah, like there is legitimately one video that I tied. Like, W was very cranky when we were recording that session of Sego Kubasura. So we just talked about fucking like politics or something like that. And I caught out most of that discussion. But the video is still titled, like there is still some parts of it left. Because otherwise there was no usable footage if I were to cut out the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So that video is titled something like politics and Naruto, because those are the 2 topics.
Naruto.
Yeah, those are the 2 topics during the entire session. It was one or the other.
That's incredible.
I think the funny thing is, I don't think people care if we have racy discussions and hold racy opinions, just as long as we don't say the bad words.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like this is one of those things where like I observe people. I have no fucking clue how people work. So like I try.
I'll say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and say, like, for what I'm doing on my channel, I am only censoring the words, and as explicitly because Creative Assembly has a thing in their rules of don't use these words.
Yeah.
But like, I still intend to shoot for a largely unedited style, and if there is though I will probably be dividing the videos up into smaller chunks so that YouTube doesn't hate them. But I don't intend to cut out any political discussions that happen to occur in my videos. It's just that whenever we hit the point where Mike thinks it's funny for him to, use a variety of words that I would say, yeah, pardon my French before saying, that part I'll cover up just because that could get, that could cause problems.
Yeah.
It's fine to be an actual racist. Just don't say the racist words. And that's political discourse.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's where we are. For some reason. But yeah.
All right, Pink, go ahead with what you've done this week, because I need to eat my tea biscuits.
You have tea biscuits too?
He has to eat his crumpets.
Disgusting. It's like I don't even know you anymore.
I was going to say he's going to salute the queen, but no, not anymore. Shit.
Not anymore.
I miss Lizzie.
I don't. Let's see. What did I do this week? Nothing. It was a whole lot of trying to get OBS to work, and it didn't. So yeah, I already went over that. Obviously I played Dead by Daylight. Sometimes with Mike, sometimes without, because they've got their Halloween event running. It's fun. I like it. There are pumpkins on the map to smash, and it's great. We'll salute Billy Corgan every time we do it. Let's see. I don't know. That's about it. I invested a little bit of time in 2K22. Fun game as usual. I'm so glad it's not 2K20 all over again. Put a little time into Civ 5. Still having a lot of fun with that. Put some time into just a wee bit of Mario Kart, but like only a cup, so nothing new to discuss there. I am curious as to when new DLC maps come out though, because it feels like it's been a while. I'm kind of hungry for more maps. Gosh darn it! Hurry up.
They're working on Mario Kart 9.
They kind of are. Honestly, they don't really need to. I kind of struggle to see where Mario Kart could go from here.
They could go back to Double Dash, which is the best in the series, and honestly, the only one worth owning if you have to choose one. So
Nintendo waits to port their games over to modern consoles until they're 20 or 30 years old, and they just port over the whole fucking console itself.
That is true. And what was I about to say? Oh yeah, Mario Kart. I don't honestly see them making a Mario Kart 9 anytime soon because they've re-released Mario Kart 8 because the Wii U kind of flopped, and I believe that's what Mario Kart 8 released on.
Yeah.
And so they made it Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Infinity, whatever you want to call it, because they put their little 8 on the side horizontally, and that sold very well. And it sold very well for probably the entirety of the Switch's current lifespan. And then they released the DLC. I almost said cups. Starting in spring of last year. I mean, not last year, this year, I think. But I actually don't know the timetable on that. But they're still putting out those DLC cups, and those aren't going to end until I think March of this upcoming year, if I'm not mistaken. Which I could very well be. I didn't take a good look at their release windows for all that. So I imagine they're still gonna let Mario Kart 8 sit on the burner for at least another 2 years, just because of the DLC that kind of freshens up and adds a new layer of paint to Mario Kart 8. So I don't think they're in any hurry for that. Not
Nintendo doesn't seem like the type to like release a DLC for one game to hype up its sequel, you know?
Yeah. I mean, releasing a DLC that for them that's practically making it a whole new game in their eyes.
Yeah. I mean, Grandpa Nintendo is still very hesitant about DLC altogether.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of wraps up my week because, I didn't do a lot of anything. Just a lot of trying to fight OBS and failing miserably.
All right.
OBS caught you in the camel clutch. Made you humble.
Put me in the ankle lock, and it hurt.
Broke your back, fucked you in the ass.
Made me very humble.
Man, I know they can't do. I know Sheik is kind of in the same territory that China used to be, where it's like WWE can't include him in anything until he's dead, just because they don't want to be associated with some of the stuff he says. But God, I can't wait until I won't say that I can't wait until Sheik dies, but I can't wait until they actually get to a place where they can put him in the games again.
Yeah.
When you posted that post from him where he's like, I dream of Hulk Hogan or of beating Hulk Hogan or something like that, I 100% just skimmed it and read it saying, I dream of fucking Hulk Hogan. And it's in character.
Yeah. Did any of the guys from that time period, other than like his cronies, like Brutus, Beefcake, whatever, did any of the guys of that time period walk away going like, yeah, Hogan's cool?
No.
Like, the only people I can think of that have any praise for Hogan are guys who are at some point his butt buddies.
Yeah.
Even fucking Kevin Nash. And Lord knows Kevin Nash benefited plenty from WCW. Even Kevin Nash has like said at several points, oh yeah, when I was a booker, Hulk Hogan was the biggest pain in the ass to work with. Because they'd set up a plan earlier that day, and when they get to the arena that night, Hogan says, doesn't work for me, brother. Yeah. All right. Addy, what you been up to the past week?
Well, let's see. I played a couple of games, but I didn't get too far in any of them, so it shouldn't take too long. I also don't remember most. So, DMC1. I'm currently stuck on Virgil because I
Which one?
First Virgil.
First Nello Angelo. Okay.
Yeah. Not because he keeps kicking my ass. That too, but I'll get through that. I just haven't felt like playing the game because of the fucking depressive rules. That's pretty much it. But like, bad time for a good game. But
DMC1 is a very weird game. I would say that I like it still. I like DMC1. I like more every time I play through it. But it is such a fucking weird old game, and the first time I played through it, I did not like it.
I like a lot of it. There's also some things that where like I go, okay, yeah, it's a survival horror, but why?
Yeah.
Like the big thing, the one big thing that I dislike about the game so far is having to go into your menu and then switch weapons there every time you die. And then
so
yeah, go ahead.
I will go ahead and say that when you unlock the one other melee weapon there is in the game, you don't have to go into menus to switch that one. You press in the right stick.
All right.
However, guns, you always have to go into the pause menu to swap. But if memory serves in DMC1, you don't really ever switch back to Ebony and Ivory after you get the shotgun unless you really need to just be fucking far away from somebody.
That's the thing, like, Ebony and Ivory are really good in keeping Shadow at bay. So, like, against Shadow, it's better to use Ebony and Ivory instead of the shotgun because it overwhelms him, and that's what makes him explode or something like that. I don't understand it just yet, but it's supposed to be something like that. Very, very. It's not about the damage you do. It's about how much you attack it, and that's what triggers it to explode. Either way, the gun is technically supposedly better for it than the shotgun. I've had an easier time with the guns, but that's also because aiming is a pain in the ass, and Ebony and Ivory make it easier because there's not as much delay time between shots.
Yeah.
It's also a thing of like I haven't Shadow doesn't do the pole, you know, like the neck thing, the neck spike that he does. He doesn't do that at all most of the times. So I can't really rely on the easy way to kill him either.
Yeah. That's the issue with Shadow a lot of the time is that he doesn't use the attacks you want him to use.
Yeah. And then that's very much all I can really say about Devil May Cry 1, because like I guess I have two complaints for the whole game now, but like I didn't like the lack of subtitles, but that's just, you know, the game was released in like 2001.
Old games.
Yeah. Like the audio mixing goes
if you have hearing issues, why are you playing video games?
Yeah. Like the audio mixing can be bad. And some subtitles exist, but only for the bosses, which is a problem. But yeah. Like I remember do you remember the cutscene with the big spider?
Yes.
So I really liked how in that cutscene the spider has subtitles, and the spider is also completely like legible. You can understand every word he's saying, even through the filter. And then it's Dante's turn to talk, and the guitar just starts playing extra loud, and all you hear from Dante is cool.
Yeah,
I like missing this.
I believe that is a trend that stays in place for all of the demons.
Yeah, the demons get subtitles, so even if their audio mixing isn't good, you'll understand them somewhat. But fuck, dude, like it's not even just the fact that Dante doesn't get subtitles. It's that it seems like they went out of their way to make sure that Dante is less legible and then not give him subtitles. I also really liked how I first played through the game, or first played through the opening cutscene with the game on mute, because I was like, well, the game says it has subtitles, and you know, I was wrong, but I played through it, and the lip flaps also just don't happen sometimes, which means that if you're trying to read or if you're trying to just wager when Dante is speaking, sometimes he'll be speaking without his mouth moving. So that's also cool. But yeah, otherwise I've been having fun with it. It's very weird. The game is still a bit clunky, but I'll just chalk it up to not having moves yet because I haven't bought moves yet. So
yeah.
So I'm assuming the combo and all the combo stuff and all that will get a lot better. And
Not really.
like, oh, okay, just Stinger. I see.
Like whenever you look up, like people will make Combo Mad compilations for all 5 DMC games, and it will go, okay, DMC 1. Most of what it consists of is get a guy in the air, activate Devil Trigger, and just spam the Psycho Crusher.
Ah.
DMC 2, they will just skip over outright because you'll see. And then you get to DMC 3, and that's when the actual Combo Mad starts.
I mean, in DMC 2, isn't your best weapon Ebony and Ivory?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw. If you remember, it says I didn't see the video, but I saw people talking about how you need to shoot a tank with Ebony and Ivory and win, and that's like the final boss fight of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Pink. So Matrix had just came out, right?
Sure.
And Matrix was like, "Yo, guys in long coats dual wielding guns, cool." And DMC 2, a lot of its development was bad. It was a horribly incompetent team, to my understanding, a horribly incompetent director. The last 6 months, Capcom fires the director, brings in the new director, and the new director comes in and sees that they have only done like 1 animation, and other than that, no actual work on the game. And the whole thing is a rushed mess, and inexplicably, in a series about hunting demons, at one point there's a boss fight with 2 tanks. And then there's a boss fight with a helicopter. Wow. The tanks you can melee to death, but it's better to shoot them. The helicopter you legitimately cannot melee because it's flying. You just have to stand there and shoot at it.
But why can't I just jump off of the corpses of the enemies up to the helicopter?
Fuck you.
I see.
That's what Devil May Cry 2 says.
So yeah, the Devil May Cry 2 will be an experience. I'll go through it at least once because whatever. I'm already here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks. Then I played The Missing, which has a long subtitle, and all I remember from it is JJ, which doesn't help.
The Mystery of JJ Macfield or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So this game was published by Arxis. I played. It's a side scroller. It's a limbo like. It's a puzzle side scroller or whatever. It's a cinematic side scroller. There we go. That's the genre.
Yeah.
And it did things like it tried the controls. It's one of those things when we all have pet peeves with controls and video games in general with how they do like mechanics and stuff like that. One of my pet peeves is if you do something that is 2D, then unless you have a really fucking good reason not to use the D-pad, I want to control the character with the D-pad.
Yeah.
And The Missing does not allow you to control the D-pad. It is unbound. It does nothing. It does nothing. So that was an issue. I went through the intro, and it's one of those things where like they try to say things like it's supposed to be a story with a message and stuff like that. It may do that fine. I don't know. I didn't care to stick around to find out, and that's the problem. like the main character has a teddy bear, and the main character dies, and weird shit happens. And when the weird shit happened, I was like, okay, maybe the game is getting interesting then, because it looked like when I didn't really look at the game when I downloaded it. I was just like, okay, this looks like a dumb like fucking like low sci-fi visual novel or something. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it a chance. It wasn't that. But when the weird shit started, I was like, okay, maybe the Japanese will kick in now. And in a way it did, but not in the way that I find enjoyable, because instead of like making characters and stuff like that, it was just like, so your character is dead, but also not dead, which they probably explain later on. If you hit something that would kill you, then you just fall into pieces and then reassemble yourself. That's it. That's all the Veki you get. Well, that and the stuffed animal friend of the character is fried because of things, and then it's ghosts. It's one ghost haunts the main character, and gets into like phone conversations with them, like text messages, and it's written like it's written very hi there fellow kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, like all of those combined just made me not care anymore. Because like, I'll give it I'll give it a chance and all that, but when I've spent more time going, man, why the fuck can I not control the D-pad than actually caring about any of the characters of the 3 that have been showcased to me, that's probably not a good sign.
Probably not.
So I played that. I played Hot Wheels Unleashed, which launched on PS Plus.
Oh.
You download the game. First thing you do, hey, loot box.
Oh.
Remember those?
Gotta get the kids going early. It's I don't even know what to really classify it as properly, because it's an arcade racing game. I mean that's fairly obvious, but like it's kind of like F-Zero. Yeah, in some ways, not most, but in some ways it's kind of like F-Zero. The boosts, from what I can tell, mostly work like F-Zero's did, in that you get boosts or boosts rather refill as time goes on, and then you can also go through specific parts of the level to refill your boost faster. The big difference being that if you run out of boost, you don't die immediately in this game.
All right.
And the game is just kind of boring for someone who doesn't like racing games or Hot Wheels. So, because like the main thing with the game is, well, either you race, you enjoy the races, so you do more races, you get more cars, cool. Or you like Hot Wheels, you want to collect all of them in this game so you can race around with them, and they have all different stats and they have different boost mechanics, which was actually kind of interesting. But still, like you do that. But most of the game is very obviously, to me, set up so the more interesting designs for Hot Wheels you can only get through like the big, very expensive loot boxes. The ones that you might actually you'll probably actually have to pay for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game is just kind of what you'd expect. Like it does nothing particularly interesting aside from borrowing the boost mechanic or parts of the boost mechanic from F-Zero. And even that, it's like F-Zero, so I can just play F-Zero.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Hot Wheels Unleashed. What else did I play? Shit. There's a game that I didn't even start off technically properly, because I saw an option on it and I was like, okay, we might have to come back to this later. So the game is called Chicken Police. It's a visual novel, I think.
What?
Yeah, it's a visual novel, I think, called Chicken Police. It was made by Hungarians.
What?
Yeah, that's the weird part. The game has a Hungarian language option. So,
Oh my.
so that one we might have to revisit. I might have to revisit with one of y'all, just for the fucking weirdness of it. The art is also like very like the art is also very weird. I've seen pictures of it, and it's like the characters are Entros, but they're photorealistic Entros, so they're creepy. It's what I'm trying to say. Actual chicken people.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I think the full title of the game is Chicken Police Turn It Red or something like that. It seems like a noir story. But yeah. Then let's see, what else did I do? I played Gravity Rush. There we go. So W, have you played Gravity Rush?
I have not. I have heard it is good, but I have never got to play it.
All right, it's on PS Plus, both of them. In case you want to try them.
Okay.
But yeah, I've also heard Gravity Rush is very good, so I gave it a chance. It didn't click with me. it has things I'm just not like it. How do I put it? I don't know if the first game was a PS Vita game, but it feels like a PS Vita game, you know?
Yeah.
Like they use the gyro controls to control the camera sometimes, but not all. Well, not completely. The right analog stick and the gyro controls both control the camera to varying degrees. So the gyro controls can fuck up how you aim the gravity stuff for no reason really. Just cause like you can technically turn it off. You can't turn it off. You go into the settings menu and then turn the gyro sensitivity down to 0, and that effectively turns it off. But yeah, like I can see the idea. Like I can see why people would like this game, because it has some interesting ideas about how it handles movement and stuff like that. The execution was just lacking to me, to the point where I didn't enjoy having to interact with the things that make it unique particularly. And then the rest of the game is just what you'd expect once again. Like it's just a generic open world kind of, the rest of the game. So like if you don't like the main mechanic of controlling gravity and the movement with that, then you probably won't like the game.
Yeah.
Then let's see. I played Mech or Override 2, Mech something or other. I forget the full title. It's different. Is the best way I can put it. It's not what I'm used to from Arena Fighters. It's like it gives you the semblance of more combo, but it still only has like one combo route. So not really. But it's also more about the spacing and stuff like that than most Arena Fighters. There's also, as I've said, up to four people fighting, so you can have 4 people free for alls or whatever other configurations you might be able to get out of 4 people. I think I don't know if you can get handicap matches now that I think about it. But whatever. The game is very built towards focusing on online play. There is technically a story mode, but that's also online, but not really. Like it's complicated. The story mode is online in that it tries to matchmake you with other people. Somehow I haven't figured out how exactly yet, but it does that. But if you don't want to wait, you can just press triangle while it's trying to matchmake you, and just it puts you into a normal bot match. So so that the characters are interesting. I don't know if there's enough variety in all of the characters, because I've like having played as most of the cast, all of them feel kind of samey, and like they have one tool or another that sets them apart. Aside from Pablo, Pablo is different because Pablo is different because Pablo is built around grabs, and that doesn't change too much, honestly, sadly. But it changes enough that Pablo doesn't feel exactly the same as everyone else. So it just feels like there's the entire rest of the cast, and then there's Pablo.
All right.
Then Did I play anything else? If I did, then not for a substantial enough time for me to actually be able to tell you anything. I don't think.
All right.
So then, I also did a draw.
A draw.
Well, a couple actually. I don't know which one to start with. So, I as y'all have learned, or well, Pink definitely did. I don't know if I told you. I probably did, but I did. Yeah, I did. I did tell you. Whatever. Fuck. Who cares? I did look at proper like art material about how you do like proportions and stuff like that, which has improved my art immediately somehow.
How could this happen?
Yeah, I don't know where I'll put this. I guess I'll put this into fucking text in recording. But so, wait, which one did I copy? I'm gonna make sure that I copy the right one. So I have this character that I draw sometimes, and this is the old drawing that I posted, but I redrew them, and this is what that turned into.
Aha.
I feel like I went too like mature with the proportions because that this is supposed to be a kid, but still.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think I did an alright job. But then the success of that made me go, okay, then I'll remake the thing that I have for the avatar, because technically the drawing of me in my avatar is not supposed to be an avatar drawing. It's a convoluted thing where I just reuse assets pretty much. But
That's what the assets are there for.
Yeah, but this is the version that I've used before, and this is the current one, the updated one, and like there's not a whole lot of differences between the two, but I think the differences are big enough that they make it an improvement.
The legs look better.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, now I just need to figure out how to do lighting better, really. Because like, I can do the soft lighting that I usually do, or I could do that, but that's also what's been clashing with how I draw. And then like I could do the other sort of soft lighting that I used to do, but that just makes everything look silky. And sometimes things don't need to look silky, like sometimes things aren't like lathered in fucking oil.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna have to figure that out. But aside from that, I think I've made an improvement.
Yeah.
And then did I do anything else? Well, the Guilty Gear Strive beta, I guess. I played 4 matches online. I have a win loss ratio of 0 or 1. Is it 0 or 1 when it's like just completely equal?
33% chance of winning is what you got.
Yeah. And it's a game. That's all.
Yeah, it's pretty well like, by all means, there are a lot of people who adore this game and consider it the only Guilty Gear for them. More power to them. It's just, nah.
Yeah, and
I can go back to X2.
Yeah, and like keep in mind when you think about how the controls of this game feel, that from what I remember, they improved the controls of the game. It feels less weighty.
So, I thought it felt a hell of a lot more weighty, but I'm playing it on PC through a USB cord to my controller that is very inconsistent. So it could be that the input feels delayed because every like half second my controller is disconnecting a little bit, so the inputs are coming in late.
Yeah, maybe.
It definitely felt like a very strong input delay to me in practice mode, offline.
Yeah. Yeah, I played both in practice mode offline, in survival mode, and also against other people. once again, I have to reiterate this. You haven't fought, like, you haven't seen, you haven't seen, like, fighting game hell until you fought the demon that is Mei on 6-frame delay. Because legitimately,
Tatsugeki?
no, not even just Totsugeki. I could block Totsugeki normally, like, even with 6-frame delay. No, the problem with Totsugeki is when you punch Mei, suddenly your arm turns into a dolphin hitting you. Because that was the match. That was that entire match. Like, rollback just worked in the greatest of ways to ensure that every time I hit Mei, it looked like my arm turned into the dolphin hitting me.
Become the dolphin.
Yeah. Like, Mei is taking the power that I have exerted on her skin and turning it into a portal for a dolphin.
Jesus Christ. That's horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I genuinely, legitimately had a fun time getting the shit kicked out of me and getting further perfected by an Eno, because it's one of those things where, like, hey, I blocked fucking Stroke the Big Tree good in that match. That means I improved because I wasn't able to block that move before now. And
Yeah.
and you know, even though I couldn't get a fucking hit in, I tried. Sometimes that's all you can do.
True.
But yeah, like, whenever the others are like, he's the fucking fighting game god. No one can to beat him. Like, both the others and my niece does that. And, like, no, I am very fragile. Yes, like, it's very easy to beat me. Just need to, like, know how to block, and also movement. And you're halfway there.
Yeah.
And, like, Pink can attest to this because he has beaten me fair and square multiple times.
That is true. Our record is like 3 and 567 and 84 or something. But you know, I get a win every now and again.
But who keeps count?
What does keeping count?
But yeah, I think that's my week.
All right. For my week, in terms of games, it was nothing unusual. Just the usual Fire Pros and the Warhammers and the things, and nothing unusual. However, for wrestling, there is unfortunately a lot of wrestling talk that needs to be had.
Oh, is there?
Yes, indeedy, there is. Because correct me if I'm wrong, unless my perception of time is off. Last Saturday was Extreme Rules.
Dang, you're right. It was last Saturday.
It feels like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's been a hell of a bunch of weeks for all of us, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, Extreme Rules. I would say you were right, and you would say it's Hunter's first misfire.
Yeah.
There was one good match on the card.
It's the opener, and
I would not agree with that.
You didn't like the opener?
It was a multi-man fuckfest. Those are never good.
Well, it wasn't a good match per se, but it had fun spots. So did the
it had fun spots, sure.
Edge match, which was garbage until the final minutes of it.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. The last 10 minutes, fantastic. The first 10 minutes of brawling around the arena, terrible.
And then the referee awkwardly asking if they quit every 30 seconds.
Like, the only times where it's fun to brawl through the crowd are when you're in Japan and you're allowed to swing the chair at audience members. And they all...
That is true.
And when, like, the Japanese audience scatter like fucking, like, cockroaches that have just been put under light, right?
Yeah.
Because that never stops being a killer visual, seeing, like, old Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher matches. And Brody goes in the crowd, and the crowd's like, oh shit, Bruiser Brody's coming for me!
Yeah.
But nowadays, when they brawl into the crowd, it's punch up the stairs, punch down the stairs. We can't do any real spots here because it's stairs, concrete stairs. It would cripple either of us.
Yep.
With that said, funniest part of the whole show, fucking Finn Irish whips Edge into the railing, so that Edge gets nut shot by the railing, and then the ref goes up and asks Edge if he quits. Critical shot to the nads.
Yeah.
The
So
ref knows.
So did they make it official that Ray adopted Edge to be his new son?
Ray did come in for the save, only to get fucked by the other Judgment Day members. So yeah, I guess the finish to the match is Beth comes in for the save, but Judgment Day beats her up. Rhea threatens to do a one-woman concerto to Beth. Edge says he quits. Mercy, mercy, don't do this to Beth. Rhea then, being a heel, proceeds to one-woman concerto Beth anyways. So, yes, Rhea versus Beth is a match that is happening down the line. I am very interested in that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You
I was just giving a raspberry lemonade. No! Fuck you! Fuck you! This is my raspberry lemonade, you prick. It's good raspberry lemonade.
It's even worse.
It's very real. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's a match that's going to happen. And the only match I would have said is just straight up good on the card is Bianca versus Bayley. Shock of shocks.
Oh, yeah.
So,
very good ladder match, honestly.
Yeah. Like, ladder matches seem like one of the few hardcore match types that can still be good, right?
Alex?
Hello?
You're still here.
Disconnect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been...
Okay.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay.
So, ladder matches seem like the one hardcore match that can, like, one of the very few hardcore match types that can actually consistently return good matches.
Yeah.
At least one-on-one ladder matches, which isn't a shock to say. The first one-on-one ladder match in WWE history is Razor versus Shawn, considered one of the best matches in WWE history, period.
Right.
Well, this was definitely a very good one.
Yeah.
I appreciated that rather than letting the minion run in, dominate the match, it's really just Yoshirai, Dakota Kai run in, they eat the fucking double KOD spot, they are back out. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it didn't feel overly convoluted like it often has in the past, and I assume that's Triple H trying to think outside of the box, trying to do things differently, because we've all seen the minions run in spot multiple times over the past 50 years.
I bitch about run-in spots in hardcore matches all the time because to me they just make no sense.
Yep.
Why not call in somebody with a gun? I think it's more acceptable. I think it's a lot more acceptable when you've got situations like Edge versus Judgment Day, because it's not just Judgment Day running in for the fuck up because Edge has Ray and Beth to help him, right? It's a little more acceptable there.
Yeah.
And Bianca, I guess, is just supposed to be that Bianca's Superwoman, so she can take all three.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, that ladder KOD spot where she KOD'd Bayley while Bayley was holding a ladder, that was a nutty spot. I am shocked that did not seriously hurt Bayley.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was
Also, elbow drop onto the ladder definitely hurt Bayley more than it hurt Bianca.
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely.
Otherwise, though, good match. Good match. Bianca needs to just stay as like a super dominant babyface.
Yeah, I think that's been working for them very well thus far. And I was very glad that they didn't hand the belt off to Bayley, because I was already complaining about that before the pay-per-view started, where for as long as Hunter has been in charge, like every faction that has gone through his quote-unquote territory has at some point or another held all the gold just for, kind of that throwback to Evolution. That That's
Four
kind
Horsemen.
of, yeah, Four Horsemen. Did they ever hold the gold at the same time? I'm sure they did. I just couldn't remember.
I don't know about the U.S. belt, but I guarantee no, the Four Horsemen started with them holding all the gold. Remember?
I do not remember.
It was, I believe it was Rick had the world belt, Tully had the U.S. belt, Arn and Ole had the tag belts, and they were honestly like, what if we just put all of our heel champions in the ring together and have them cut a promo to show like the heel backstage locker room has unity, right? And
right.
while they were cutting the promo, Arn just off the cuff, Arn Anderson just says, "This much destruction hasn't been committed by 4 individuals since the Four Horsemen." And there we go.
Boom. I like it. Yeah, I knew the Andersons and Flair, obviously, World Heavyweight and Tag titles, but I couldn't remember, well, A, what the then mid-card title would have been, like US or Television Championship. And B, I didn't know if that faction had ever actually held the mid-card title in addition to the World Heavyweight and the Tag titles. So I didn't want to say, oh yeah, the Four Horsemen, because I don't know with sincerity that I would have been accurate in that call there. But yeah, good to know.
Yeah. That was before the Blankards were known to be trouble, so Tully hadn't yet just been stuck as the tag team member for Arn when everybody knows Arn's the second biggest star out of the Four Horsemen, right?
Right.
Yeah, and of course, Tully continued to be a problem for about a decade, and then he had a daughter, and his daughter started to be a problem. Something's up with them Blankards. Them Blankards just ain't right.
Yeah. What a shame. What a shame.
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah. I was very happy that Triple H opted to not just hand over all the gold once again, because we've seen that done basically every time he's had his hands on a faction of any sort. It, to me, was getting kind of stale by the time Toxic Attraction was running NXT. So I was like, I really don't want to see a repeat of that. And thankfully, as of right now, he hasn't done a full-on repeat of it. So I'm happy with that. And I firmly believe Bianca should be holding the title for a long time to come.
Yes, I will. Like, Bayley, I'd throw on. There are some wrestlers that are kind of just Teflon. It doesn't matter how many times they get pinned. The fans will always take them back, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason Rollins has been jobbing more or less constantly for the last year, and it's because no matter what, he's Seth fucking Rollins. The fans will always take him back.
Yeah.
Bayley, I think, is kind of in the same spot. Bayley can lose a million times and then come back a year later and people will still take her seriously.
Yeah.
Though, as a heel, she's not. Like, I don't... I'm curious to see what they can do with her, but I think to compare it just to Toxic Attraction, like, the women's tag belts need to stay on Yo and Dakota for a good long while because there really just aren't any women's tag acts other than them.
Yeah, where else are they gonna go?
Like, the Iconics are gone and weren't that good to begin with. Correct me if I'm wrong.
How dare you?
Toxic Attraction is still in NXT. Like, if they bump Gigi and JC up, then yeah, I'd say absolutely put the tag belts on them instead. But, they're still down there in NXT. And even with the Toxic Attraction
you still got the awkward situation of both Control Alt Delete and Toxic Attraction are heel factions.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another monkey wrench you got to deal with.
I mean, on some level, it's the question of Yo and Dakota are just going to hold on to the belts until Hunter can get Sasha and Naomi back, right?
Well, hopefully they're going to hang on to those belts forever then.
Those words came out of my mouth, and I was like, I'm talking to the wrong person to say that. At least you're not Ted. Ted would have traveled over here to Virginia to kill me for saying that. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think that's pretty well what we can say for that match.
Yeah.
Get it speeded along. And then there were the 3 matches that were just abominably bad. So I think there's a clear loser out of the 3. A match that from the beginning to the end.
The loser is us.
It's the viewers who saw them.
We'll hit the worst one at the end, I guess. So Drew versus Karrion. It felt like going in, both Drew and Karrion were like, neither of us know how to work a strap match, so let's just not.
Right.
Half the match was a pre-bell brawl.
Yeah.
Which was garbage.
Yeah.
And then the straps went on. Just fuckfest brawl. Karrion repeated the same strap in the corner, smash against the ring post spot that he did last week on SmackDown. Blah. And the finish is Scarlett runs in and pepper sprays Drew.
That was the best part of the match because it was so hilarious to watch.
Karrion is not the super dominant heel they were going for.
Womp womp.
Like, it's almost getting into a Judgment Day situation again of, like, Scarlett's the real threat.
Right.
With that said, they need to keep doing that thing where when Karrion wins a match, he carries Scarlett out on his shoulder Macho Man style, because that's a good image.
Yes.
That's money.
Maybe.
I was about to say, I don't expect Pink to offer any, like, even the slightest praise.
I
for
don't
Mr.
like
Cross.
Karrion. I think Scarlett's ugly. I can offer no compliments here.
I ain't saying I'm interested in her. I'm just saying it's a good image.
You're saying good image. I'm like, no, that's a nasty looking image right there. No, stop it.
Jesus Christ. Can we all agree that we need... Can we all agree that we need to take as much effort as possible to make sure Mike never finds out about Scarlett Bordeaux's existence?
Fair enough.
Because my God, if he saw her, he would have a fucking...
Can we just deny that women exist to Mike? What are you talking about? Everyone's gay.
Yeah.
Women? Those don't exist. Those don't exist.
Yeah, Austin. Or it was me, Austin.
Just to fill you in, Addy, Scarlett Bordeaux has had a lot of enhancements, both in the face and the body. And they're not well done enhancements, they're very obvious ones. And Mike has his issues with enhancements, so if he took one look at her, he'd go, fuck this company.
Plus, she's blonde, and that's just the absolute killer right there.
I think it's neat that she's going for like a 50s movie star kind of look.
Sure.
Like, the entrance...
50s movie stars, so...
Karrion Kross is one of those guys where, like, the entrance is doing all the work for him, you know?
Right.
But, man, like, these matches that Drew's been having lately that are just punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick, Claymore. Fucking kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my God, like, Clash at the Castle was a good pay-per-view with an awful main event, and Drew is again bringing a stinker out this month. What the hell?
Yep.
So these being what?
I'm gonna say something very bad.
Oh no.
He wants to go back to the 3MB. He wants to suck.
He's gonna suck so hard they're gonna bring back Heath.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. So here's the thing. Every time they have Scarlett do something, whether she throws a fireball in Drew's face or she pepper sprays Drew's face, every time they do it, my mom points out that they really shouldn't be having Drew get assaulted by small blonde women.
Oh no!
I honestly, Addy, I thought that's what that's what I thought you were going for.
No, I never remember that Drew got fucking abused.
Yeah. Scuttlebutt always was that's why Vince T pushed him. Which I partly believe that because Vince does seem like the kind of maniac who would believe you can't push a wrestler who gets beat by his wife.
Yeah.
At the same time, Drew was not paying.
Pushed so hard.
I'm sorry, what?
I said that's why Stone Cold got pushed so hard.
That you know?
Oh no.
That would be a funnier joke if it wasn't that Deborah came at the ass end of Austin's run.
That is true.
Emphasis on ass.
Who's?
Anyway. Jim Ross's. Anyways, Seth versus Riddle in the fight pit. By the way, was I the only one who thought that the fight pit was an MMA cage?
I don't know what an MMA cage is.
Okay, so yeah, that match just sucked.
Oh no.
It was just kind of meandering, wandering. They couldn't really figure out how to work a match around the cage, I guess. They couldn't tell whether they were going to do pro wrestling or if they were going to try to make it MMA adjacent. They had an MMA dude as the ref, and he seemingly did not know what he was doing because even though it was a hardcore match, he kept breaking them up and telling Seth not to break the rules, which don't exist in this match.
We still don't know what the rules are. It wasn't until they were both down on top of the cage that we learned that they couldn't pin each other up on top of the cage.
Yep. They couldn't pin at all. It was a submission or knockout only match.
Oh, that's right, because he had him in the submission on top of the cage. Almost as lethal as a submission on a table.
Yes.
Yeah.
That match
And
sucked. It was dumb. The rules didn't
they
make
go
sense
up.
if there were any.
They go up, and then they go down. Riddle does what is supposed to be a diving senton from the top of the cage. He clearly just missed Seth entirely and shattered his own tailbone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Riddle versus Rollins you think would be money, but so far it's just kind of being eh.
Maybe they shouldn't have put them in a cage. I don't know.
Well, they shouldn't have brought in the fight pit to begin with. This doesn't seem like a very fun gimmick for a match. Like, the only point to there being an upper tier is so that people can dive off of it, but you can dive off the regular cage too.
Yeah.
Just don't ask them to not do any Kurt Angle knee exploding moonsaults, please. And then there was one last match. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you put the main women's title on a competitor who is a much better tag team star than she ever is as a single star, and then also throw into the mix somebody who is completely incapable in every regard? Oh, and by the way, we're gonna add a baseball bat to the mix. You know, not a, as far as I'm aware, not a wooden one or even a gimmicked one, just a straight up steel bat that they can't use against each other because that would be going too far, and you might accidentally actually break something or concuss somebody, and that'd be no good. Oh boy, this match.
Yeah. That was... You know, I loved everybody watching that match and posting the gif of Hulk Hogan's notoriously terrible chair shot to Conan on WCW that time. That Conan then tried to sell like a champ, God bless him. So, yeah, the gimmick revolved around Liv doing her best Harley Quinn impression, bringing a baseball bat to the ring, and her and Ronda both faking really badly that they were hitting each other with it, but they couldn't. And everything was sloppy. People were just not in tune. Shit was getting botched. Timing was just off. They were meandering around the ring to look for weapons to use. There was a table spot for no reason. Liv has just started making it her thing that she sentons people through tables. I guess it's supposed to be a Ruby Riott send up.
Yeah.
Tribute, whatever.
I'm not dead, my nose is just broken. Ruby Riott yells from Gorilla.
Yeah. But Ruby, your nose is 50% of your body mass. One day we'll get Triple H versus Ruby Riott in a nose versus nose match.
Oh no!
Don't you mean nose?
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Oh!
Everybody knows. Wants to know.
Yeah. Anyway, I do like the idea that Ruby Riott is in the crowd. Shouting every time Liv does that move, Ruby just shouts at the ring, "I'm not dead!" I would crack a joke about Liv starting to do Sarah Logan tributes as well, but she's probably back, so...
If she does come back, which all indicators say yeah, I hope those two team up again, because... Again, I'll say it till I'm dead, probably. But to me, Liv Morgan is a great tag team star. She is money by herself, but she's not a good competitor by herself, so she desperately needs to go back into a tag team. And they kept firing or breaking her up from all her partners, but now that Sarah Logan is on her way back, maybe? Question mark. If they could slam her back into a tag team, that would be phenomenal. Especially for their tag division, which has like 2 teams.
Yes.
And one of them has Shotzi in it, and that's no good.
The trouble is, Liv has a couple of cool moves. She has a lot of lame moves. She's not super competent in the ring, but God bless her, she's got the spirit. She's a pretty bad promo.
Yeah.
Like, she's got a good look, and she's got that underdog spirit, both of which are money.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, Daniel Bryan was always more money chasing the belt than he was holding it.
Yeah.
Liv is in that same space.
Yeah.
Everybody was pointing out a year before Liv won the title, Becky cut a promo saying, you all want Liv to win the title, but if she ever won it, you wouldn't support her. And Becky was dead on right.
Yep.
Like, if Liv picks up the belt, congratulations, that's the end goal. Where do we go from here? Shrug.
Boom.
We don't know. We're going home. We're going home.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next wrestler we think is underappreciated.
All right, Jey Uso.
Hey, now, Jay's actually putting in good work. I hate to say that because I despise the Usos, but the Usos have been... Like, the Usos are still garbage wrestlers, but storyline-wise, they've been putting in damn good work with this Sammy storyline.
Oh, yeah.
Jay's facials during every Sammy like, any Bloodline promo, any Sammy promo, you just have to look at Jay to see what Jay's doing in the background, because he's always doing something amusing. He's always just sitting there like, oh, I fucking hate Sammy so much. Fucking hate him. Oh, I don't like him. This sucks, man.
He ate all of my pizza rolls.
I need to stop getting vegan pizza rolls. I don't know why I do this to myself. Oh, win it again. Yeah, the one thing I will say in favor of that Liv Ronda match is, hey, good finish. Like, it almost got rid of part of the stinkiness of the rest of the match. But, yeah. And the issue was also going in was, it doesn't matter who wins this match, because whoever comes out of this holding the belt, we're going to have to see more matches of, right?
Right.
And the trouble is, we're probably going to get Liv versus Ronda number 4 at Survivor Series.
Possibly. Oh, lordy.
It's not possibly. I think it's happening, because on SmackDown last night, they had a segment where Sonya said Liv deserved all that. Liv's not really hardcore, yada, yada, yada. Liv came out, Pearl Harbored her, set up a table, put her on the table, backstage, by the way, climbed up like scaffolding that happened to be nearby, and Ruby Riott senton Sonya through a table. Backstage.
I don't know why, but
whenever they need somebody to go through a table or something, you know, their almost consistent go-to is just Sonya Deville.
Some people are just really good at taking certain bumps.
Quick, call up Sonya. Okay, Sonya, here. Go grab Sonya.
Sonya has really just become like the mid-card women's heel that you just send out whenever you want someone to go over.
Yeah,
Femme-Miz. Kind of, yes, actually. Sonya, much like Miz, is... Well, Miz I've always loved, but Sonya is quickly becoming one of my favorite female acts they got at the company, so, yeah.
Oh, just now? What a loser.
Well, when I was watching 10 years ago, she wasn't around.
Fair enough.
I get hit with a clairvoyant spell in 2011. In 2015, a wrestler named Sonya Deville will debut. She will be great. I am already a fan. Either which way, yeah, Extreme Rules was mostly not a great pay-per-view. Oh, Bray came out at the end, of course.
Who?
Husky
You know
Harris.
who?
Husky
It's Husky
Harris.
Harris.
It's not even.
He's back.
It's not even Husky Harris.
Did you-
It's Husky Harris.
Did
Like
you
Bobby
call him
Dangerous?
Husky Harriest?
He should have, regardless.
Either which way, they brought out there were like Donnie Darko shits in the crowd, and the light was like, "Oh, who are these guys?"
Stupidest thing.
Yeah,
I've never been the biggest fan of Bray Wyatt. I admit to liking his Firefly Funhouse gimmick, where he's like the evil, not Scooby-Doo. What's it called? Blue's Clues guy.
Blue's Clues, yeah.
What's his name? Steve.
yeah.
Alternatively,
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman sucks. I will hear nothing else on this matter.
Well,
No,
Bray's
no.
already ahead of him
Pee-wee
just because Bray hasn't got his dick out yet.
That is
Pee Wee
true.
Herman didn't suck. He did the other half. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's why he doesn't have a job anymore.
he still gets lots of little acting roles, actually.
That is very true. But yeah, I like the Firefly Funhouse chick. I thought it was amusing. I even liked the Fiend to an extent, not to the extent that most of the internet adores it. I just thought, hey, that's kind of cool, nifty. I like the mask.
You like the friend.
I'm a fan of the friend, and but yeah, having all his like, what I guess we'll call them puppets in the crowd, that was stupid, and I hate it, and I hate that I watched that because now it makes me look stupid by proxy, and I'm not stupid.
Are you sure about that?
2% of the time.
But yeah, I saw
Oh,
I saw the ending bit with Bray. That's you.
Plus,
It was the only
Thank
part
you.
of Extreme Rules that I saw, and I was like, I get what they're going for. Like I can see the effort. Holy shit, the execution sucks dick. Like everyone was fucking discoordinated, and like the idea was bad to begin with. So it being discoordinated just made it worse. Because like the parts that they could have pulled off right would have been like barely anything more than just very big horror cliches, and they didn't even do that shit right. Like if they did this right, it would have been just like fucking like bloody like Poppy Playtime, fucking whatever theories or stuff like that, you know. So like they couldn't strive for something great, and they somehow even fucked it up. So, great. But yeah, continue about Bray Wyatt, I guess.
Honestly, to be honest, I don't see either of your issues. I thought it looked fine. I thought the lighting guy going from corner to corner to corner was definitely a little bit silly, but shrug. And I figured that's a wrestling stable invasion. We've got a lot of stables nowadays. Triple H likes his stable warfare, but it's a stable invasion.
and what wrestlers are gonna get stuck working these gimmicks?
That is the question, of course. We don't know who are behind the masks yet.
Well, obviously, Justin Gabriel is back because he's the bunny. He is forever the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie,
what would you do if they actually brought Justin Gabriel back?
I would be like, that's fucking weird. Why did you do that?
I guess it depends on how much time Justin Gabriel has spent on the indies or in Japan.
I mean, he spent some time, but like he's doing the gimmick, or last time I checked at least, he was doing the gimmick that he pitched to Vince, that Vince turned down in NXT. So like, and the problem with that gimmick is that like I didn't see him cutting promos, but I couldn't tell if it had any like guild on his moveset, and that's bad because you do a different gimmick because you want to change shit up. So you know. But like past that, like in the video games I use him, but otherwise, like I don't particularly care. You know, it's just funny to say that. Oh yeah, the guy who quit because he was doing this gimmick where he dressed up as a bunny. Yeah, he's still doing that. They rehired him just to do that.
So I didn't feel too strongly about it, honestly. Though I was interested in the idea that maybe, like, if there's a stable involved, then Bray won't wrestle. That would be interesting, right? Because he's not a great wrestler. But, yeah, last night there was also SmackDown. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. There weren't a whole lot of remarkable things other than Drew's attempted murder of Karrion Kross. Apparently he made Karrion's car crash and then attacked him after he got out of the wreck.
That's hardcore. Why didn't they do this in Extreme Rules?
What a hero!
So they're doing the Rey Mysterio Road to WrestleMania 2011 story.
Oh no! Karrion's got amnesia now.
Watch Drew put on the fucking the mask. He's gonna be Toto Americano still.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, there was that. Like I said, Liv put Sonya through a table backstage. They had LA Knight finally be LA Knight. And I pointed it out in the Discord thread that it was just a little thing, but it amused me so much. LA Knight picks up the mic and he goes, "Hey, let me say something." And you can hear in the background Mace, or Mace, whichever, saying, "I hate when he says that."
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those little things that just kills me. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I get the feeling I'm the only one. But I will continue to stand up for it for myself. I'm funnier than all of you.
You'll continue to stand up for your boy Mace.
Yeah. My boy Better Wooly.
Yeah.
I think I'm the last person I think I'm the only person on planet Earth that even vaguely enjoys the gimmick anyways.
I love
They had Hit Row versus is it Legado or Yagato? Because there's two L's.
I thought there was only one.
Should it not be Yagato? Okay, Legado del Fantasma. Hit Row Pearl Harbors them from the front at the beginning. Because, shrug.
Yeah.
But then Legado del Fantasma won anyways because Zelina Vega beat up B-Fab.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of came out of that. What? For one thing, it was a 2-minute match.
Oof.
And yeah, I 100% came out of it like, okay, either Hit Row or Hunter knows Hit Row are no good. But Hunter, for whatever reason, wants to keep them around anyways, probably just for B-Fab. And so he's just giving them these short shit matches that seem like Vince-era TV matches, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely the kind of situation where it's like, okay, just have them put Legado del Fantasma over next TV and have Hit Row keep doing stupid, shitty comedy matches for the kids. And Legado del Fantasma can move on to a real feud.
Yeah.
And let's see, I believe there are only two really remarkable things left. First is Ray wins the Fatal 4-Way to get eaten by Gunther.
That's how they announced it.
Yeah. It's like fucking Nidhogg. You're battling to the end so that the big Nidhogg will just eat you.
Yeah.
I would have loved if the match ends and Ray is just standing there triumphant, and then Gunther swoops in from the sky and eats him in one gulp.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about the match was, boy, pile drive. You know, your classic pile driver may be illegal, but apparently whatever that was is still fine.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Did either of you guys see?
Yes, I did.
I saw it. It was like a Hurricane Rana driver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors driver.
Right.
Like it was almost like kind of Owen Harted Ricochet in a weird way.
Yeah, which is funny when you consider that Owen Harding is what got pile drivers banned to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see that's fine. It wasn't a pile driver, it was an inverted cranium destroyer.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
And the very end of the show, Bray comes out and cuts a promo, and he comes out and cuts it. Well, for one thing, he has a different theme song than he did at Extreme Rules. Because at Extreme Rules, it started saying the old "he's got the whole world in his hands" bit, which, correct me if I'm wrong, my memory is shifty because Bray came in at the ass end of when I initially watched wrestling. But was that not Bray's original, like, theme thing when he first came on, when he was the Swamp Hillbilly Colt?
I thought
saying he's got the whole world.
I thought you were going to say he was the Swamp Thing. I was like, I don't remember that.
He kind of was.
but no,
he kind of was.
No, his original theme was something like catching flies in his mouth and stuff like that. Like
that was his original theme song for the entrance, but the little, what did they call it? Hymn, I suppose, was a I guess you could call it a catchphrase if you want to. If you really wanted to stretch the definition of a catchphrase, that was his gimmick, his shtick, the Bible hymn.
I could have swore he's always had that associated with him. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah, I think he's had that. Maybe not from the start, but definitely very, very early on in the main roster run. That was one of his things he did. Definitely during his feud with Cena or Bryan or both. I don't remember. Wow, who was that? No, I think it was Cena because he had one of the little freaky kids from the audience sing the Bible hymn with him at Cena because that's good television. Man, what is stupid.
So, in Extreme Rules, he came out with the mask and had that very heelish sounding theme. But last night at SmackDown, he comes out without the mask to a, like, 2000s era new rock face sounding theme about redemption. He goes in the ring, says he's out of character, cuts a promo about how depressing it was to get fired and how the fans yada yada yada. And he's tearing up.
I am
and
too, but for very different reasons.
My mom teared up for I think what were supposed to be the intended reasons. But and I'm sitting there like, hang on. Do I smell something shooty, but worked. Yeah. And no, it wasn't a work shoot. It was, I guess the gimmick is supposed to be, I wasn't there for Fiend or Firefly Funhouse, so you'd have to tell me if this was been just a thing with Bray for the last few years. But it seems the gimmick is Bray has two alternate personalities.
Yes.
He's got a face personality without the mask that is just supposed to be, well, they're calling him Bray, but it seems like the face personality is straight up supposed to just be Wyndham Rotunda. Right?
Sure.
Whereas the heel personality is fuck you all, you fucked me over, I guess, behind the mask.
Uh-huh.
And this is what the thing, like, I'm super interested in where this goes. However, I'm not going to say that out loud on the Discord, because I know what that will get me. It could absolutely be garbage. I don't think this is going to make Bray a better wrestler. I would prefer that Bray just stays out of the ring entirely. I would prefer that Bray just be a manager. But I am... If that was not a worked shoot, if that was not supposed to just be Wyndham Rotunda out of character, if it is supposed to be there are two different sides to his personality, one of which is babyface and supposed to be more, more grateful, and the other one is a heel personality that's vindictive, I think that could be really interesting. But I'm also a Mick Foley mark. Mick Foley was not a talented wrestler, and a big part of Mick Foley's gimmick was multiple personalities. And so I think that this may just be the kind of situation where it's like, if this turns out poorly, then we can all stand and laugh at Bray Wyatt. If this turns out relatively well, I will silently enjoy Bray Wyatt and say nothing whenever he comes on screen on Discord.
Yeah,
because I don't need...
Yeah.
I don't need to, like, just have that experience time and time again of me saying, like, I'm interested in where this goes, and then Ted says, you need to be sterilized.
You need to be committed to the psych ward.
You need to be lobotomized.
Yes, we still do those.
Ted, just start sending me low-tier God memes.
Ted reveals that he's been low-tier God all the... Ted reveals he's been low-tier God all along.
You know, low-tier God is one of those guys that I think you could show Ted, and Ted would be endlessly amused by.
Probably. But what was I going to say? I forget. Oh yeah, the way you're describing Bray's gimmick, it just sounds like Abyss.
Sounds like what?
Abyss.
Abyss! Oh! Well, I never watched TNA, so I don't know how Abyss was.
Initially, I think Abyss was just like the Psycho Murderer or something like that, and then they elaborated that he has a separate babyface personality that is his brother.
Yes.
Oh, right! Joseph Park gimmick!
Yes.
Joseph Park.
The, like, 2 episodes of TNA I did see where Joseph had Joseph Park. And that would be funny if they did do that, because memory serves, Ted loved the Joseph Park gimmick.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, like, I've never seen Abyss wrestle, but like, I have seen Bray, and I have more faith in Abyss.
Abyss is working backstage. He's one of the agents.
That is true.
Which almost makes me wonder, did Abyss go to Bray backstage and was like, bro, you should just totally rip my gimmick, bro?
He's also turned into Vince Russo.
I'm not using it, bro.
Abyss has always secretly been Vince Russo all along. How does this well? How deep does this well go? How many wrestlers are actually just Vince Russo? Next, we'll find out that all of Foley's personalities were also just Vince Russo.
No.
You better believe it, bro.
Have a nice day, bro. That's so dumb.
Hey. Calm down.
But yeah, like I have no faith in Bray Wyatt, but that's because I've seen the first half of his career, and I have decided after that I don't need to see more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned it on the Discord already. I'm not a fan of Bray Wyatt by any means. I think he's a terrible wrestler. I've never liked any of his gimmicks except for the Firefly Funhouse thing because that was so delightfully dumb. How could I not love it? But I will say I am very happy that he's back in WWE because that means I don't have to hear about him being successful anywhere else and how WWE dropped the ball with him.
I'm of the opposite opinion. I don't like him being back in WWE because now I have to hear about how great he is at being a wrestler when he's not.
Nobody likes him for his wrestling. Come on,
You'd be surprised.
Even the biggest Bray Wyatt marks would tell you that they don't like his wrestling.
You'd be surprised how
Nobody
many...
liked the Fiend for his matches at all because he had a total of 3 or 4 of them and they all sucked.
You'd be surprised how many people I've seen being like, I love Gray Wyatt.
The new persona, old Bray Wyatt.
Yes, I love Bray. I love Bray Wyatt's Fiend gimmick. He does such good fun matches with it and shit like that. And like, no, Bray doesn't do matches with it. What are you talking about? But even if he did. Like it's once again the thing of that I raised up against fucking Justin Gabriel and I always bring up against Finn Balor, that like I can like people's characters and stuff like that, but like when you don't actually change the shit you do, then that's kind of that throws you down a couple of steps in my eyes.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Bray actually change his finish when he switched to the Fiend gimmick? Didn't he get a different finish for that?
I didn't hear about that, but if he did, then props to him.
Like, didn't he switch from the old Jay Lethal self rock bottom to a mandible claw?
I think that's correct.
Okay, then
a funny looking neck snap.
The mandible claw has always looked bad, but at least I can commend him for actually like changing some of his moveset, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just a ripoff of Let Evil In Kane. So what?
Bray Wyatt is ripping all of the horror gimmicks off. I look forward to him being Goldust.
In part 7, he's gonna come back as a zombie. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah. So is that always wrestling?
I believe that's about everything that can really be talked about.
Where's Electra Lopez?
That's a good question, yes.
She's at home.
Probably.
It's
Saturday.
It's a good guess, you know. Like if she's not at home, she's in a hotel. That's also a good guess.
Possibly.
But yeah, I guess we can call it a podcast then.
All right.
So, bye.
Boy.
I guess Pink is not going to say bye.
Yeah.
I figured you had already cut recording.
No, not yet.
I did too, honestly.
Yeah, it is still going.
Okay, I shall say bye.